Hello. In this quick session, we're going to learn about how to make a quick pickle. You might associate pickles with cucumbers or beets or sauerkraut, kimchi. Today we're making a quick onion pickle, the one that you might find in a taco shop. So really straightforward. We've got a small onion, we've got a little bit of vinegar, we've got some spice just to make it extra fun, and you can add other things like cabbage or garlic, whatever you've got in the cupboard really. Pickling quite fashionable at the moment, so it is good to have a go. This is not an authentic pickle because we're calling it a quick pickle, which means that you can do it within 10 minutes. The first thing I'm going to do is cut the stalk off the onion, do the bridge, chop it along in half. So an authentic pickle would boil your vinegar. We're not going to do that today. We're just doing a really quick version that will allow you to have your lovely pickled onions within about 10 minutes. But as I said, if you wanted to make the authentic type, you can take a bit longer about it. And if you do boil the vinegar, it will keep for much longer than if you don't. So that's also worth remembering. Cutting the paper off this onion. It is very tight. The skin or the paper on this onion. Usually that means that the onions are quite fresh, I think, when the paper doesn't want to come off very easily. So I'm going to cut this into sticks, often called julienne. If it was a carrot, you'd call it batons perhaps. But yeah, sticks, everyone kind of knows what you mean. And I'm going to cut it long ways. So I'm going to do the claw, get rid of all the onion bits on my board. And yeah, just watch me slice along. And I'm going to try quite thin because I think that way the vinegar can really get into the onion slices. And when you get towards the end, sometimes the claw gets a bit harder. So what I tend to do is take that last part and just flip it sideways. And then that makes it easier to keep going with your claw. Alright, so now we have half an onion that's been chopped. I'm going to put that into this bowl here. Pretty bowl. Doesn't really need to be a pretty bowl though. And then it's really simple. We're going to add some vinegar. You can add any vinegar you've got. Apple cider I think is a good one to use generally. Today I've got balsamic. And I think that one's pretty good because it gives you the pink colour that you might have got if you were using a red onion. I quite like that red kind of onion pinkish colour that you get. So a dash of vinegar, not too much actually because there isn't a ton of onion. Then we're going to add a dash of spice. This one is completely optional. I'm using mixed spice, but if you're going seasonal you could use pumpkin spice. And then a small amount of sugar and salt. And I say small, I mean like a quarter of a teaspoon. So putting in a little bit of salt there. You can use posh salt, you can use regular salt. I'm just using regular. And then a little bit of sugar, similar amount to the salt, so like half a teaspoon if you've got a small amount. There you go. And then give it a little stir. And because the onions aren't submerged, you just want to help that along with a little bit of water, just a splash. All right. Maybe a touch more, perfect. And then you can see now the onions have submerged. If you wanted to add chilli at any point, you could. Since we have a garlic clove, I'm going to throw that in. And I'm not going to chop it because I think otherwise the flavour would be too strong. I'm literally just going to cut it in half so that the pickle gets a slight garlicky flavour, but nothing too overwhelming. So that's half a halved garlic clove. And literally you can leave this in a jar. So long as you eat it within maybe 3 days, that pickle will be fun to eat. The vinegar keeps it a little bit fresh and tangy, and it will soften the longer you leave it in that vinegar. So that's how you make a quick pickle. And this can go on top of tacos, it can go on top of a burger, it could be a side dish. If you wanted to ferment it or pickle it for longer, then it gets healthier. But just this is how you make a quick pickle. Thank you.